Breaking 2026 Australian Open entry list excitement. Alcaraz, Sinner, Sabalenka, and Gauff ready to thrill. The tennis world didn't just wake up today. It erupted with the release of the first electrifying 2026 Australian Open entry list. Fans across the globe felt the same jolt of adrenaline because 4 names leapt off the page like fireworks in the Melbourne sky. Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner, Aryna Sabalenka, Coco Gauff, for superstars, for different styles, for global fan bases. One blazing hot Grand Slam stage. And just like that, the countdown to Melbourne has officially begun. A new era fully ignited. The Australian Open has always been more than just the first Grand Slam of the year. It's where reputations are built, legends are born, and the tone for the entire season is set. But 2026 feels different. This isn't just another slam. This is a collision of the sport's most explosive forces. Men's and women's tennis aligned in perfect storm form. Fans aren't just asking who will win. They're asking, can anyone survive what's coming? Carlos Alcaraz. The Electric King returns. Carlos Alcaraz doesn't walk onto a tennis court. He storms it, still barely into his 20s. The Spanish sensation has already accumulated. Grand Slam glory. World #1 history. A global fan base that stretches from Madrid to Miami. Now, he returns to Melbourne with renewed hunger. Stronger, sharper, and angrier than ever. What makes Alcaraz terrifying isn't just his power. It's his fearlessness. He attacks legends the same way he attacks qualifiers, with wild abandon and joyful violence. In 2026, insiders whisper that Carlos has evolved again, more patient, more tactical, but just as explosive. The question isn't whether he can win the Australian Open. The question is, who can stop him from owning it? Jannik Sinner, the ice-cold assassin of the baseline. If Alcaraz is fire, Jannik Sinner is ice. Cold precision, silent destruction, relentless control. The Italian star enters 2026 with a reputation that now borders on ruthless dominance when he finds rhythm. His clean ball striking, quiet intensity, and near unbreakable focus have turned him into one of the most feared opponents on tour. Sinner doesn't celebrate loudly. He doesn't taunt. He doesn't waver. He simply takes your time, your space, and your belief, one clean winner at a time. An Alcaraz versus Sinner clash in Melbourne? That's not just a match. That's tennis theater at its highest level. Aryna Sabalenka, the queen of power, returned for more. There's power in tennis. And then there is Aryna Sabalenka power. The Belarusian superstar doesn't hit the ball. She punishes it with her thunderous serve, ferocious ground strokes, and unshakable competitive fire. Sabalenka arrives at the 2026 Australian Open with one mission: domination. Melbourne has always brought out her most dangerous form. The fast courts amplify her weapons, turning every match into a battlefield where survival favors the bold. But what makes Sabalenka even more dangerous now is her evolution. She's calmer, smarter, more patient, and still absolutely ruthless. She is no longer just chasing titles. She's hunting legacies. Coco Gauff, the generation's crown jewel. And then comes Coco Gauff, the face of the future, now fully seated in the throne of the present. She enters the 2026 Australian Open not as a rising star, but as a proven global icon. Her speed still electrifies stadiums. Her defense still bends physics. Her composure under pressure still defies age. But now, added to that foundation is something even more dangerous: complete belief. Gauff no longer plays like she hopes to win. She plays like she expects to. Her presence alone reshapes the women's draw. Young players fear her pace. Veterans respect her focus. Sponsors orbit her aura. Fans follow her storyline like a saga. Melbourne 2026 could be the stage where Coco doesn't just compete. She conquers. The men's draw, a war of speed, steel, and strategy. With Alcaraz and Sinner both confirmed, the men's side already feels like a powder keg waiting for a match point spark. This is speed versus precision, chaos versus calculation, fire versus ice. Every possible meeting between these two promises. 5-set fireworks. Momentum swings that warp reality. points that live forever in highlight reels. And beyond them, the men's draw will be stacked with young guns, dark horses, and veterans refusing to fade quietly. But make no mistake, the road to the 2026 Australian Open title goes straight through Alcaraz and Sinner. The women's draw, power, poetry, and pressure. On the women's side, the tension is just as volcanic. Sabalenka brings brute force. Gauff brings speed and heart. And between them lies an entire tour of challengers desperate to carve their own legend. This isn't just about who hits harder. It's about who handles pressure at match point, who stays composed when the crowd roars, who dares to swing freely with destiny watching. A Sabalenka versus Gauff final in Melbourne? That's not a tennis match. That's a generational collision. The fans, already in frenzy mode. Within minutes of the entry list breaking, social media feeds exploded. Alcaraz versus Sinner in Melbourne again? Sign me up. Sabalenka and Gauff on hard courts is pure cinema. 2026 L already feels legendary. Ticket searches spiked. Hotel prices jumped. Travel plans were reshuffled in real time. Because fans know one thing for certain. This tournament won't be quiet. It will roar. More than tennis. It's a global spectacle. The Australian Open is no longer just a sporting event. It's a cultural festival, fashion runway, celebrity gathering, social media superstorm, economic powerhouse. With Alcaraz, Sinner, Sabalenka, and Gauff all confirmed, brands are already circling, broadcast deals feel heavier, and expectations are breaking pressure gauges. The world doesn't just watch Melbourne anymore. It moves with it. The psychology of the champions. What unites these four stars isn't just talent. It's mental ferocity. Alcaraz thrives in chaos. Sinner thrives in silence. Sabalenka thrives in violence on the ball. Gauff thrives in pressure. Each of them feeds on a different form of intensity. When those forces collide under the brutal Australian sun, there is no hiding place. No excuses. No comfort. Only resolve. Legacies on the line. By 2026, careers are no longer developing. They are being defined. Every slam from here forward carves permanent lines in history. A win in Melbourne doesn't just add a trophy. It adds immortality points, Hall of Fame weight, generational authority. Alcaraz could cement a dynasty. Sinner could take the throne. Sabalenka could enforce a reign. Gauff could crown a new era. And the world will be watching every step. The heat, the lights, the pressure. Only the strongest survive. Only the bravest win. Final word. Breaking. 2026 Australian Open entry list excitement. Alcaraz, Sinner, Sabalenka, and Gauff ready to thrill. This isn't just a tournament preview. It's a warning shot to the tennis universe. Because when these four names step onto Melbourne's courts, the sport won't whisper. It will explode. New heroes will rise. Old doubts will burn. Records will tremble. And when the final ball drops under the Australian night sky, one truth will remain. The future of tennis is not coming. It is already here. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.